Well, good morning, everyone out there in middle-aged millennial following. God, it's dark here. We need some better light going on. Well, yeah, hi guys. Just came off the beach after a beach walk, getting a little bit of vitamin D, making its way through the clouds, and doing some lovely earthing, getting that lovely breath of fresh, I'm guessing negative iron-rich air, sucking in those electrons through my feet and through my nasal cavity. So all good, and some social interaction. Did actually a heal.me. If you haven't joined the heal.me community to get some exclusive content, then you might want to jump in there. There's a couple of easy questions to ask on the way in, and then I'll get you approved. If you want to come in there and join, we've got like 400 people in the community now, so it's really been growing significantly. It's a lot bigger and growing faster than I actually thought it would, which is pretty cool. And we have a special episode today of middle-aged millennial. As you know, usually my Friday morning, and if you're in the US, your Thursday evening at about 8 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time, we have Doc Tester. Now, Doc's been super busy of late. He's been doing a lot of conventions and so on, so there's a pack of knowledge he's got there. And we're hoping to get him back at some time in the near future, and maybe it will be at a time when we can grab him. But what I've decided to do, and this will happen from time to time now, is we're going to get some people from our loyal followers to come on and talk about their health experience, what things they're passionate about with regards to health, what they've learned that they can also pass on to the rest of us. So we probably won't go the full hour, probably making it 30 minutes, although how many times have I said that before? Yeah, and today we have one of our most loyal followers and FB Live attendees, Elise Sterling-Cowan, is going to be jumping on. So we're going to bring her on. She's waiting in the wings there. So let's see where she is. There she is. We're going to add her in. Add to make her way on. Oh, damn. Earphones. Oh, well, I forgot my earphones. Hello, she says. She's getting added now. And I'm going to also put some ears on so I can hear her properly. So let's do this while she's gathered. All right. Especially since my sexy Bluetooth ones, which aren't as healthy as these ones. Hey, Elisa.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
I forgot about the whole, 15 hours difference? And
well, yeah.
Friday is right now, yeah.
Okay. I can tell you the future. I'm 15 hours ahead of you. I can tell you what's going to be happening in the world from over this side of the planet.
That was awesome.
Yeah, well, that probably doesn't work that way, but anyway, yeah, for some reason they put the dateline kind of near Australia, and we're one of the first. I think New Zealand is the first country. I remember when they did the year 2000 New Year's Eve, I think New Zealand was the first country in the world to experience the year 2000. So there you go. Okay, it looks like we've got a bunch of your friends joining, I think. Claire.
Yeah, I
Alice,
shared it out.
Carolina Walter. Hello there, sending you love and light. Namaste. Okay. So, Elisa, where are you actually based?
I'm in Canada, so I live in Edmonton, Alberta. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool.
But I'm more West Coast.
Of Canada. Okay. So that'd be like the Vancouver side?
Yes. Much closer than Montreal.
Oh, yeah. Montreal is like, if I drilled a hole in the ground from where I am right now and went straight through the center of the earth, I'd be at Montreal, I think. Right?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, or New York or somewhere around there. So, hey, look, I mean, you've been on, I know you sort of jump on quite often to what we're doing in middle-aged millennial or some of the Heal.me stuff as well in the community. But which I'm forever grateful for those that, are hopefully finding some value or at least some entertainment if not any educational value. I like to call it edutainment. Yeah, let's give us the Elisa. Is it Eliza or Elisa first?
Elisa.
Elisa. Okay, cool. I got that bit right most of the time.
You have to smile to say my name. Elisa.
Elisa. Right? Elisa. So you're going to do the Elisa. All right. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So, Elisa.
Yes.
Give us the story. Kids, husband, how long married? What do you do for a crust if you have to be working these days? Give us the story.
Well, I'm definitely a longevity advocate.
Oh, longevity.
I've signed on for the 200-year plan. So.
Woo! Geez, you're going to beat Mr. Bulletproof, Dave Asprey. He's going for 180. You're going to crack 200.
Well, it's very possible. I have a family that's their mindset towards aging is definitely different than our conventional society.
Whoa, this is going to be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's not really language that I grew up using. We didn't use the language around age. It's whether or not you're maintaining or not. So if you're not keeping up with what you used to do, it's because you're not doing it. You're not in regular practice of it.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. All right. So give us so kids, husband.
So my background and how I got on it kind of personally was more so around the fact that when I started having kids, things in my body were changing in a good way. My first son, I was pregnant with him when I got diagnosed for my gluten intolerance, which is now on the celiac side.
Right.
So,
okay.
But in that, I grew 2 inches during the pregnancy. So
you grew 2 inches.
I grew taller because
that's a serious amount of height. It's like 5 centimeters in metric speak.
Yeah, there was a lot of growing going on. Yeah.
Holy crap! Hormonal explosion was going on.
Well, if for a lot of people that don't know, with celiac, what's happening is it's autoimmune and your body's attacking the hairs in your intestine that help you to absorb your nutrients.
Well, those little fibers. Wow.
Yeah. And well, of course, it triggers, it's doing the attack. You've got the inflammation going on at the same time. You're not really absorbing much of your nutrients. So I could eat a whole pizza.
Oh my God.
A whole large pizza to myself and not gain any weight. And it would be gone the next day. And yeah, but it was interesting to see because I got confirmed through not just a naturopathic doctor, but also homeopathic. So he was doing a lot of energy testing, muscle testing. And yeah, so when I took that out of my diet, that kind of helped to change things. I was having, we'll just say, sleeping in the conversation episodes, so like narcoleptic episodes, back pain, migraines.
So you'd fall asleep like during the day, so like you just do that sort of a drop thing.
I think I was just being multidimensional.
Wow.
But apparently I just looked like I was sleeping in the middle of a conversation or a meeting. So it didn't feel like I felt steady. So when I'd wake up, I'd be like, oh, I'm okay, yeah, and I'd still be talking, and then they're like, you just pause for like 15 minutes there.
For like 1,000 years or something.
It's like you were gone.
Oh my God. Okay, we've got Peter Rouse who's just joined. So the troll is in the house. Sorry to disrupt you there. Interrupt.
Yeah, and I can't see any comments because I'm turned the other way right now. So.
Oh, you should be able to swipe to bring them back.
Oh,
no?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The troll is in the house.
The troll's in the house, right? Okay, yeah. Pete's here.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Lisa. So, all right. So the narcolepsy, that you grew 2 inches because of the celiacs.
Well, no, because of cutting out the gluten.
Cutting out the gluten,
so
and then you grew 2 inches?
And during the pregnancy, I grew 2 inches.
And you,
So I was
you
able to absorb. I wasn't done growing yet, apparently. I was being slowed down, so I got to catch up.
okay, how old were you? Like 12, 13, having a
No,
child
I
or
was
something?
25. 20,
25.
25? Ooh, I don't know.
Right, you're in the 20s,
I don't
somewhere in the
count.
20s.
I
Right,
don't count.
right. Holy cow, all
So,
grains
but at the
says
time,
Pete.
yeah, Peter, at the time I cut out, well, not all grains. I was still eating rice
Right, brown, white.
then, but well, at the time I don't remember. Probably
Okay.
brown, white, probably all of it.
Okay, so you're
But
connecting the celiacs to your narcolepsy as well.
no, well, I noticed that those episodes and the migraines and the back pain
Was
and
connected to grains
etc. It's cleared up
once you stop
during
the
my
grains.
pregnancy. Yeah.
Right, but
And
you're
then
still having
also
rice.
environmental changes as well. And then from there, I gained a whole lot more clarity. Um, my my morning journal times, my quiet times were much deeper. And
Right,
so I realized that I was also experiencing brain fog. And so when the second pregnancy came around for Regs, that's when there were also a whole other set of complications that happened. And again, the next level to improving my health, paying attention to things. Now I had two boys, and they were experiencing dietary issues as well.
right.
Yeah,
Yes, Peter
right?
says.
You mean the growth, right, Peter? Hormonal changes during the pregnancy. Yeah, I didn't lose the inches
Right,
after
okay. You didn't shrink.
pregnancy either. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
but they were experiencing similar symptoms, and so they went through and got tested and were confirmed as well with
Celiacs.
the gluten intolerance.
Intolerance.
Gluten.
Okay.
Well, I try to
Intolerance.
keep it around the gluten intolerance because I wanted, I still wanted to think that it could be reversible, right? It's all in the
Right.
program.
Right. Okay.
So,
Wow. And so
but
what
yeah.
with the second pregnancy then, if you don't mind sharing, I mean, what different things happened in that?
Um, well, there were complications with delivery,
Okay.
and so that changed how I approach my body and my
Got
movement.
it. Got it.
The recovery afterwards, after the surgery, didn't go so well. So there
Got
was
it.
a lot of, yeah,
Complications post
complications. So getting back to
postnatal.
working out, yeah,
Right.
that was all gone.
Okay. Someone's got.
So
It's okay.
sorry.
It's all right. That's life.
It's funny, yeah, it's life.
Yeah.
Everyone calls
Right. Yeah.
when I'm on a phone call with
Oh my
somebody
God,
else.
are you on FB? It's probably your mum ringing or something saying, "Hey, darling, you on
Yeah,
that Facebook?"
exactly.
Okay, so, wow. So, what other changes then have you made? Because you're saying you're aiming for 200, although who knows? We could have a choice to
Yeah,
live forever in the next decade, 2 decades. We don't know, right?
we don't
But
know, right?
we don't know.
So why not aim for a bigger number?
Well, we've all been so conditioned and programmed, have we not? You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
to
one
think.
day we're all going to die. Why? Okay, so Pete's got the
Mhm.
glyphosate connection there because he's
Yeah,
been reading some stuff
he's doing the
recently.
glyphosate. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
And
Go
for
on.
us, we've tried in other countries and grains that are not grown in those. And so we've tested over the years. It's now almost been, well, since 2001. So for me, and so I've tested from other regions as well, and it's still similar
Right,
immune response, right?
right, right.
So that programming hasn't really kind of reset yet. So
Okay,
on that side,
okay. And are you a full-time mum or are you?
I am.
You are awesome. All right.
Yeah. And so I'm at home, I'm homeschooling as well
Oh,
as
homeschooling, fantastic.
a few coaching clients because I've gone through the Brian and Carey mindset coaching. So
Right. Yeah. Me too. Got my little certificate and a
yeah,
piece of paper for BCAP one. Um,
exactly.
All right. So then tell us some other things then around your longevity journey. What if I was going to ask you that question of what are the top three things that you've learned from everything you've read and looked at on Facebook and learnt, are the top three things that you think make the biggest impact and a low-hanging fruit for people to lead a longer, healthier, optimized life?
It starts in the mind. It
Oh,
really does.
okay.
You have to
Yeah.
decide that you want to live a long life.
Right.
And then once you decide that you're signing on for longevity, then that comes with a different type of lifestyle. You're looking at maintaining and adapting as you're going along. Your focus isn't on, well, I've always done this, so I'm just going, oh, how come it's changed now?
Right.
You're recognizing the fact that as you go along, there's adaptations that we need to be making,
Right.
and you flow with that.
It's a journey.
Um, yeah. And second, um, if you're signing on to live a long life, what kind of life do you want to be living? So if you're in the practice of being grumpy and complaining, I don't know how many people actually want to live doing that for a long time. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why they sign on for a shorter amount of years, right? But if
Okay.
you're actually in your life and enjoying it and
Right.
enjoying the journey and your connections and the people around you and creation and all those things, then yeah, if you're willing to look into your environment and enjoy all the beauty that's within it, then
Yep.
it also makes it more fulfilling
Right.
to be living each day.
Right. Okay. All right. So, I mean, so I see it's sort of a mindset thing, being aware, learning,
Mhm.
and deciding, as you said, being in that frame of mind or that state of mind where you're going, well, I enjoy life and I want to live a long and healthy life. So then you become open to and receptive to what are the different things I need to learn
Yes.
to do that. So, keeping that in mind, then, I mean, what have you then learnt so far that you think are the top three pillars, if you will, or the big things, big rocks
Uh,
that are going to help you with that goal?
What I've learned is that there's a lot of things that we don't know about
Yeah,
the potential within our human design.
right.
And I've always been a big fan of looking into those things. So from school, I graduated from university with a major in art and design and a minor in biological sciences. So
Oh, cool.
behind that, though, is design. And
Right.
when you're looking at the design of things, if you're looking at the designs behind art,
Yeah.
sacred geometry, those kind of things, you're seeing that there's patterning, there's a lot more intention into the design that we are. And we have only scratched the surface of understanding why we're designed as we are.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that are focused in the performance aspect and our potential. And so to look in that direction, then we know that there's a whole lot more that we could be doing and living in life than just settling for the common stories. Oh, I hurt today. Oh, well, that's because I'm this number of years.
Right. Right. Yeah. Look, and I see that everywhere too. And, oh, well, I'm getting old, I guess. It's like they're giving up, not the fight, but it's sort of
Yeah.
like just putting themselves into, well, they're starting to dig their grave, right from having that attitude and frame of mind on how they welcome things. Oh, well, I'm old, like everybody has done in the past. I will die, and it seems to be the average is, I don't know, 80, 70, depending on which country. It's
Yeah.
getting small. It's getting smaller and smaller in the US right now. Our kids have got. They're
Yeah.
saying our kids are going to lead a shorter life. I mean, geez. Um, so, are the things you do day to day that work best for you, apart from the mindset? What are you, let's say, eating, or what are you doing, or what things are you doing at a lower level that are supporting you
Mhm.
being able to live that longer life?
Well, I'm contributing to keeping my body oxygenated by, breathing exercises
Wow. Okay.
and drinking water.
Yeah.
So making sure I'm drinking clean, filtered water, um, water that has kind of living elements to it. So I add like lemon juice or some type of herb into
Yep.
my water first thing in the
Right.
morning.
Right.
So just taking tips from those who have lived longer, are living longer. My
Yeah.
grandmother, she was definitely one of those lifers. She signed in for the long plan.
Oh.
So yeah, she lived until I think 94,
Oh. Nice.
and I think just at that point she had decided she was kind of done. But
Right.
she was
So she
farming her own
chose.
land. Yeah, she was farming her own land
So she was on a
up until
farm.
that point. Yeah. So
Right.
in her 90s, she was farming. So
Farming up
she,
until her 90s.
yeah,
And she's out in the microbiome. She's out with the bugs. She's active. She's
yeah,
doing, farm to table.
harvesting. She was going to the market with what she harvested. So
Did
it
she
was
do that
still a
her
part
whole
of her
life?
life.
Was that her whole life? She
Yeah.
never lived in the
Well,
city?
she had 10 kids, but yeah, she
Whoa!
was
She pumped
doing
out
that
10
for,
kids.
yeah. My dad was the last of 10, so
Holy cow. Okay. Um, so I can see, and I guess, yeah, it's where also, maybe other people don't want to live forever, but some would like to choose their age. And, we even had Peter
yeah,
yesterday saying, he said, well, when I go, I want it to be sudden, not this sort of like, people on, certain pharmaceuticals or whatever that's keeping them alive rather than them actually being able to live a high quality life kind of thing.
yeah.
Um, okay. So you talked about water. How much water would you drink a day, or you aim to drink a day?
Well, I aim to drink at least 3 liters. Um, I'm coming out of winter, and I find for
Oh,
myself it's a little harder to drink
right.
um, water. So
Yeah.
it's usually in some form of warmed water, tea,
Tea.
um,
Take it in the form of tea. Yeah.
again, herbal.
Right.
Um,
Which ones?
so
Which herbal teas?
I do moringa, mint, sometimes basil, holy basil.
Right.
Um, I have a Gynostema tea that I really like. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. And so about 3 liters a day, you're taking your water in different forms, which is smart. Where you're getting
yeah,
some medicinal properties from the different teas. Coffee?
yes.
You drink coffee?
No, I don't respond well with tea, or sorry,
Coffee.
coffee. It makes me jittery, but it could also be, as Peter was sharing about the glyphosate, because some
Right.
people have said that it's possible that some of them have, pesticides, herbicides on them.
Right.
I'm sensitive to chemicals, so
Right.
well, at least I'm aware that my body is sensitive to it. And so
Right.
I don't respond to certain like things that like neurotoxins or
Right.
phthalates. Phthalates really trigger with
Okay.
me as well. So
Okay. So, I mean, for me, I can drink a heap of coffee and it doesn't put me in that jittery mode. And I know that's genetically because I'm a
yeah.
fast metabolizer of caffeine. Snow metabolizers, and people correct me here if I'm saying any porky pies inadvertently, but yeah, it doesn't wind me up. And like there's chlorogenic acid in there, so as long as you're getting organic.
Oh,
I've been ordering, I've got to say, Benny Greenfield's stuff, Keon, on his Keon site. Ben Greenfield has coffee, and
okay.
his father was a big coffee maker, and he's got like getting the most cleanest organic, no mold. You apparently got to make sure it's a medium
Yeah.
roast. It's the best beans are the Robusta beans, not the Arabica beans, to get the most chlorogenic acid, which is the antioxidant that's super rich in all the good stuff. So. Okay, so all right, and Peter and Carolina are having a bit of a discussion
Yeah.
here, so I'll let them
Women
duke it
peak.
out.
Are we, well, yeah. Are we talking
Yeah,
about hormones?
I think so.
I know that. Yeah, there's a lot again in my family because there's some people's families where women go through menopause sooner and some later.
Right.
My mom and her mom were pregnant at the same time. So um, I know that it's a late coming stage for myself. So
Right. Okay. I mean, you're looking
yeah.
great. Your skin looks great. I mean, could I
Oh,
be
I
so
have
game
to.
as to ask what vintage? There's like probably copper left hook, but You don't have to say, by the way. It's just, be great to
Oh
know.
no,
'Cause
there's no
you look young, no
secrets.
matter what age you are.
Yeah,
Right? Right.
but I don't know how old am I? 43.
Is it-
I don't count.
Sounds like dementia's setting in, no?
No, I don't count. I know the
Right.
year,
Wow. See, this is
but
interesting.
I don't need to count. My
Wow.
mom my mom looks the same as I do,
Your mum looks the
and
same as you do.
she's she had me when she was 20, 21.
Right.
So um,
Wow.
I have to keep this up because I
Yeah,
don't want to look
wow.
like her mother. I don't want people to call me her mother,
Oh,
so
right. Well,
I got to
no.
keep this up.
No, I mean, your skin, your vibrant, the energy, and there's a
Hmm.
calm about you as well.
Yeah.
It's just sort of picking up, Um, all right. So food then. So you're not eating
Mhm.
any greens, grains. So you've come off the
Oh no, well
grains.
that's not necessarily true right now, but
Right. So what are you eating now?
but
What's your diet? What's your diet?
for the most part, I think we eat about 95% plant-based.
Right.
Um, and then the other parts is what, ghee, butter.
Okay.
I like cheese,
You
so
like
that's my
cheese?
vice.
Okay.
But
Which cheese
more
is it?
so in the goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
I
Okay, that's the better one. Yeah.
and but we don't have it often because the boys are dairy intolerant,
Right.
so
Like most of the
they
world.
don't do it. And my husband decided uh, three, 3.5 years ago
Uh-huh.
that he was not really going to be doing dairy or meat. So we don't really have that in the house.
So
So we're primarily plant-based.
you're plant-based. Okay.
And then on occasion we eat fish.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, it's a super healthy diet. I'm doing the same stuff right now. It's hardly ever any grains now. They're just about all gone. Occasionally on the cheat day thing, I might have something. I might have the gluten-free, hopefully pizza base
Yeah.
on a weekend. That's about it. Okay, mainly plants. What's your thoughts on sort of like being genetically predisposed to diet and exercise? A bit of a loaded question because that's the angle obviously I've been headed down. But I'm wondering if you've been exposed to that much at all, apart from me talking about it fairly often.
Yeah, I
And
do
your
believe
belief.
that. Well, and that's the thing that's been part of our journey is the fact that we come from a family of multiple regional genotypes.
Right.
So um, I don't believe in using the other terms because they're not very descriptive of our human design.
Right.
But because of that, because there's Middle Eastern, there's Western European, there's Asian, there's like Oriental, there's Aboriginal,
Man,
African in our
wow.
family.
Wow, you mixed it right
So
up. Someone was
yeah,
active.
so they were trying to peg it down to, oh, the reason why you're dairy intolerant is because of this,
Yes.
or
Or this part of you.
because you have African heritage. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
but it's such a small percentage compared to everything else that
Right.
I'm sorry, you can't peg us down by region because
So
we
many
represent
regions.
multiple regions around the world.
Well,
So
it's like Peter has said here. I mean, it's
yeah,
biochemical individuality. I mean, we look
exactly,
different. Good chance is, therefore, we are going to actually be at the chemical level different.
exactly.
Um, you know.
So the
Um,
way I respond in my environment is different than someone who might have a similar skin tone as myself.
right.
Um, I'm sensitive to the sun,
Right.
and I was redhead. I expressed as a redhead and had freckles, but who's gonna know that
Right.
I'm photosensitive, right? So I
Wow.
come
Yeah.
from, yeah. But if you see my son, which you've seen sometimes on videos and pictures.
Right. Yep.
He's a redhead, freckled, and he's not photosensitive like I am. So he can be out
Wow.
in the sun and he won't burn.
But he
So
tan?
it's yeah, he tans really well.
Right.
Actually, I think he's the only one that tans well.
Oh, so he must have a bit of the
Out of-
Mediterranean gene or something going on there.
That's probably there. Or
Yeah.
again, Aboriginal probably
Or
expressing a
Aboriginal.
little stronger. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So,
Wow. Okay. Aboriginal. I mean, the only Aboriginals we talk about Aboriginals. I mean, we have them in
well,
Australia. They were here
Native
before we
American
all
is
were.
what I'm referring to.
Aboriginal. Okay. So,
Yeah. So on the North American side.
okay. What's the other
Yeah.
term for it? For the national. I can't remember what it is now. It'll come to
But
me later.
original to this side of
The
the
side of the
world.
planet. Got it. Got it.
So
Okay.
the Carib, the North American, or as they say, Native American.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. So, well, we've got a few people joining here as well. Just to let you know, we've got Troy on, Matt's joined. We saw Scotty Livingston as well. So we've got a few more people that have come on here. You're pulling a crowd. You're pulling a crowd.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. The real American, says Peter. What's the word? Pete,
Yeah,
you would know.
exactly.
The word for people that come from a particular land. Anyway.
Yes.
So, okay, so diet then. I talked about genetics. You mentioned the word express, so I'm assuming from that you understand perhaps how it works. It seems
Yeah.
where
Genetic
yeah,
expression.
you're expressing certain genes.
Yeah.
So would you be a believer then the one size, which I go and preach about, but one size doesn't fit all, be it for food, sleep, or living,
I'm a
all that.
living example of that. No one can kind of peg anything on me for a
Right,
diagnosis.
right.
So I do know that my GP is using me as a guinea pig for collecting information. So
Oh, how? How so?
just referring me to this specialist and that specialist, and it's a
So he can get
hamster
you.
wheel.
So
And
he's looking at you as
so,
a freak of nature. Is that what he's doing?
well, it's because everything, quote unquote, appears normal,
Right,
but then there's all these symptoms, right? And
right.
so that's why we have a medical team. We're supported by medical professionals. We go to specialists. So, for example, naturopath,
Yeah,
homeopath.
yeah,
We also have chiropractor, um, and physical physiotherapist. So we work with those individuals
yeah.
to meet those needs. So right now, my husband's at he's at a physio appointment with a physio that helps to train runners. So you
Right.
go to who you need based on the type of lifestyle you want to live.
Okay, how you want to
Yeah.
express it. I notice you've taken a holistic approach there, not just in the Western medical system, but it seems to be
Yeah, and you get the
integrative.
full picture that way.
Right. You get the
Yeah,
best from everything, and keeping an open
yeah.
mind as you do, and it seems to be just in your nature to do that as you continue to learn. And we're not writing off Western medicine either, of course, because there's some
No,
fantastic stuff in
well,
there.
that's good for acute stuff, right?
For acute,
Um,
absolutely. I think primarily acute, but it swims a little bit out of its lane from time to time because of
or if it's
certain reasons.
chronic or anything that's like reoccurring, you need to go to somebody that's interested in what's behind that,
Behind it, so the
not just
functional,
addressing. Yeah,
yeah, the functional approach, right? Not
yeah,
just addressing a symptom that's there and getting just below the
exactly.
surface, which the acute thing that Western medicine has generated has been sensational in acute,
Yeah,
not in chronic care. Okay. Um, so what about exercise, as Pete says there, or
yeah, I
asks?
saw that from Pete.
Yeah. We almost touched on it with your
Um,
physio, but yeah. What about exercise? What are you doing there?
Primarily, I guess I'm I like working out more strength wise and walking.
Uh huh.
I did the pH 360 test and
Ah,
it
cool.
confirmed, yeah, it confirmed the type of exercise I like. And it definitely confirmed the type of exercise I don't like.
Oh my God. So
Not,
did you?
I'm not big on heavy cardio exertions. It doesn't, and it makes me feel really ill. So I go for things. I don't know how many people might be offended by that, but I mean, I go to my friend's Zumba class, but now
Right,
she lives in Montreal. So I went
right,
when I went to go for the birthday party and the
right.
fundraiser. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
with Brian and Carrie. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but I will say I'm not a big fan of doing that. I like to be functional in my environment. So
Okay.
I like to be strong for my tasks. I like to be
Right,
flexible. So
right.
flexibility is another thing. So I do some yoga,
Okay.
but primarily stretching because
Right. Just flexibility.
yoga is not just stretching.
Right.
It's a breathing practice. It's a
As
lifestyle.
well.
So yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you about breathing in a minute, but the pH
hmm
360 stuff. When did you do that?
I when did I take that test? I think I took it at the beginning of January.
Okay.
Um, I saw that you mentioned it, so I looked it up and I saw that it was a free test to take it online.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
cool.
that's great. Well,
What's
and was talking about how she's recommending it for all her clients that she's working with now.
Yeah. No,
To
and
take
is.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Okay.
jumped on, did the test, and I've shared it with a few of the people that I'm working with as well
Right.
to kind of get a picture of what they like. I mean, again, there's a way that you can look at somebody's lifestyle and see, I think this would probably work for you.
Yeah.
And it also helps to confirm for them when they say that they don't like doing something, but oh, I have to.
Yeah.
Um, and I dig in and I say, well, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
It's funny how it's kind of lined up with what they naturally feel about the way they want to be moving.
Isn't that
So
interesting?
I think yeah, I think there's an intuition that we do have, a communication that we have with our bodies. And if we give ourselves a little more credit for being able to communicate, recognizing what foods sit well with us and what foods don't,
Yeah.
um, what kind of movement and exercises work for us and what don't,
Yeah.
then not to say that we can't adapt to new different movements and exercises, but definitely recognizing what works for you and working with it.
That's it. I mean, it's really getting to know yourself, isn't it? I
Yeah.
remember when I did PH 360 like years ago for the first time, and I was more of an active triathlete than I am today. For me, as a crusader health type, I'm guessing you may be guardian or something like that. I'm not sure. What is your health type? Do you remember?
Um, Diplomat.
Diplomat? Diplomat. There it is. Okay, so the guardian diplomat's got to be somewhere around there. So you're a
Well,
diplo.
I like diplomat. Diplomat was more towards, it wasn't very much on the guardian side as it's more towards, there was the one that starts, what was Anne?
Anne's an activator.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like high energy, needs to be moving constantly, and
Yeah.
I know with Anne we've got to we've got to
Yeah,
get
she
her out on the
definitely
beach.
needs to keep moving.
We got to keep her moving. Yeah,
Yeah,
otherwise she gets
it's
to like,
antsy.
yeah, she gets antsy. There we go. Right. So that's
Yeah.
cool. But what's amazing is, I mean, she's found that out through. In fact, I measured her incorrectly. We missed the measurement, or it wasn't in the app at the time. They were doing some maintenance. I don't know, but. Um,
Yeah.
Originally, she didn't come up as an activator. She came up as a connector. And,
Oh, okay.
she saw that side of herself, but then it just wasn't fitting for her. And, credit to her, she knew herself well enough to know, what, this
Yeah.
stuff's not all that's working for me. We then had her remeasured by the CEO for ANZ and the global
Oh,
educator of PH360,
okay.
Cam McDonald. He was here, and I did this big interview you might have seen with Cam that I recorded and did a podcast interview. And he did a quick measure, and he looked. In fact, when he walked in, he looked at it and said, "You don't look like a connector. You actually might look like more of an activator, but let's check it out." He did, and it came back as activator straight away with all the professors and PhDs in Germany, right, while he was here.
Nice.
And then she had a look and thought, "Oh, that's better. That's me."
Yeah.
Right, and hence she's now putting it in her program for ageless athletes that she's kicking off. So.
Nice.
I'm using it with my execs. We did one last night with, in fact, one of my guys. He's a diplomat.
Okay.
he came out yesterday. I was thinking, oh, you know, you played the game. He's a diplomat or he's a crusader. And, of course, Anne was hoping he'd be an activator to join that team, but didn't join either of our teams. He's a diplo. So, yeah, I was the triathlete part. When I saw my exercises on PH360, it said you should be swimming, biking, running. It actually listed those. I thought, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that's come naturally to me that I fell into. And I like getting in that zone. So, yeah, you're right. And the foods, for me, is a lot of fish and veg. For Anne, there's a lot of meat, right? The activator.
Yeah.
For you, there'd be a hell of a lot of veg, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of meat
No,
at
it was
all.
more veg.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And my husband, he's a crusader.
He's good man. Crusader. Okay. What does he do for a living?
Well, he's just getting in the door from running.
Okay.
And he works in construction.
Construction. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's working on the sites, or is in the office, or what?
No, he's not in the office. He's
Right.
doing the heavy stuff.
Oh, the heavy stuff. All right, sweet. Does he look like a crusader to you? A lot of thinking, a lot of mental activity with him?
He's definitely one that spends a lot of time like in the
his head.
space.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
heavy. And then he loves to run, loves to connect with nature, and it did all that in the crusader form.
Wow.
It did mention that he needs to be eating some more meat, so just trying to find the balance for that. But
yeah, which I did. A lot of the DNA testing, and then PH360 had me with a fair bit of like fish, oily fish, interestingly.
Yeah.
Salmon, etc. And hence I switched in January to bringing some meat back into my, alleged vegan diet. Well, I was actually evidence plant-based. I was doing the Michael Greger thing, right? But okay, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you take it from here as far as your health? So with exercise, you said PH360. I've got an idea of what exercise you're doing. We talked a bit about water. We talked about food. Recovery.
And as Peter was saying,
go on.
He's saying that, sometimes there's things you have to do things that you don't like. So again, I know that it's good to get the circulation going. So then I do try to push for some more cardiovascular circulation. So I do the sprints in with my walking.
Right.
Not that I don't like sprints, but I'm not a big fan of running, especially over long periods of time. I just get bored with it. But and doing a lot of the yoga poses, I'm not a big fan of, but I know that it's good for opening up my fascia and for circulation that way.
Yeah.
But Peter was saying he's the Grim Reaper. What's the Grim Reaper in the PH60?
Pete's a bit harsh on himself from time to time. He's either the troll or the Grim Reaper, the bearer of bad news. I don't think he wants to be. He's what?
Oh, okay.
You reckon he's an activator?
Right. Oh, okay.
I got Anne on the side here. Giving
hey, Anne. How's it going?
Hey, hi. Say hi, Anne. There she is.
Yay. Hi.
Okay. Yeah. We reckon Pete's probably an activator. I reckon Pete's actually a guardian, but we'll find out one day. Pete, we need you to. Pete, can we measure you up for PH360?
Oh,
we need an hour of your time. We want to measure Pete up, and then says what he says right here, right now, today. Okay.
Warrior gene, yeah.
Warrior gene. Oh, new crusader, new health type.
He might be a diplomat.
Diplo? I don't know if Pete's a diplomat. Not with the trolling that he does. Where was I going? So what about rest, recovery? Are there things that you do specifically there, or you're sleeping like a baby already, or how do you recover?
I guess from having a meditation practice for quite a number of years. I think that I've set in kind of an automatic trip switch for when my body's like, okay, I'm done, and it just wants to go to sleep.
Right.
Which is in about an hour or so from now. I'll just find a nice little cozy hole and just kind of curl up into it. But I fall asleep fairly quickly.
Yeah.
My mind's usually really clear. We have a wind down time.
Right.
So I can already feel myself kind of prepping for the
Right.
wind down time,
The
right?
melatonin's
So
just starting to maybe click in
yeah,
about now. Okay.
but yeah, um it's on and off. I don't need as much sleep.
Right.
So because when I go to sleep, it's really deep sleep that I'm experiencing. Um, Again, when you go to bed with a clear mind
Yep.
or a resolved mind, one of the things that I started years ago is like the full circle. Was my day a full circle? If I don't wake up tomorrow, will I feel that my day was complete, my life was complete? Have I done all that I needed to do in this day? Am
Right.
I okay if I don't
Get
jump
everything
into
done.
the task tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I've worked myself to a point of accepting all that I've done throughout the day, kind of like counting your wins,
Got it.
but also accepting where you felt that you didn't kind of live up to how you wanted to in the day,
The
right?
expectation you set
So,
on yourself. So you've gone more
yeah,
wu-wei sort of on that,
yeah,
enforcing
it's
unnatural
what it
acts.
is. And then for the next day, it'll be what it is because that's tomorrow's work, not today.
Right. Don't fight against the current and the tide. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
but that helps me to be kind of
Sort of
steady with my
just
energy throughout the day.
right.
So then it's not like I'm hungry or thirsty for that recovery at night.
Right.
Um,
Right. You don't
just
collapse at
it's
night.
yeah, so it's just a period for when my body needs to
Good.
lay down and do its work.
Right.
I try to make sure that I have the right amount of mineralization. That also helps for getting proper sleep, is when you're
Right.
properly mineralized. When you're not, you're more acidic, and then that kind of helps to keep people on the jumpy edge of things. So, and it also gives your body what it needs in order to prepare you while you're in recovery mode, while you're sleeping. So, a lot of people can
Absolutely.
allow their body to do its work
Right.
while you sleep,
While you
then they
sleep.
don't have to connect it to the fact, well, I feel tired, or, it
Right.
doesn't have to be about that because your
Yeah.
body had work to do while you were sleeping.
It did. It was shutting down. It was doing the cleaning and the repair work, like in your
Yeah.
brain. You know, it's that, and like with the Aura Ring, Anne and I have got an Aura Ring. We've really been breaking down our sleep and recovery stuff now. We can see what
Yeah.
quality, how much deep we're actually getting, how much REM when it's happening, because deep tends to happen in the early part of the night, and REM tends to happen in the latter part of, well, in the
Yeah.
mornings, right? Which is where you do your dreaming. So all the cleanup happens first with the deep sleep and the restorative work and all the hormones that get sorted and cleaning out the brain and so on. And then the brain goes wiring up in the REM sleep, like the dream state. When you're doing lots of
Yeah.
dreaming, and there's a lot more than I do. But I will, remembering my dreams is tougher. I don't see them as much, but I've really got to analyze my sleep. And it's really interesting. And Aura doing a fantastic, but I'm not giving you the bird. Just sort of
The
saying
thing,
there it
the
is. Yeah.
ring.
Yeah, the ring.
Yeah.
Amazing piece of tech around that. HRV, heart rate variability. Do you do anything with that at all?
Wow.
Yeah, so
No, I
HRV on here
haven't
as well.
really looked into it.
Okay. Yeah, it's connected to about 9 out of 10 of the biggest killers on the planet and correlated. They were using it for
Wow.
HRV because you could only measure it if it was big bucks, like 20, 30,000 bucks to get a machine to do it in the past, where
Wow.
Olympic teams are using it, defense, military, organizations funded by the government, so where all the big dollars were. But of course, now you can do it with the Aura Ring, as well as Elite HRV. Pretty well the best in this game, and they've got one that goes over your finger, and I check it every morning to see whether I'm in sympathetic
Okay.
or parasympathetic mode, fight or flight or rest and digest mode. And happy to
Okay.
say I'm in the green zone most of the time these days. Back in my corporate
Hmm.
stress days, it'd be the saber-toothed tiger chasing me down constantly, including night, right? So yeah, there's one for you. But okay, so rest and recovery, you're doing a pretty damn good job as well. You're kind of cruising through stuff. You sort of get the vibe from you, and meditation practice has got to be a big
Yes.
part of this as well, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do with your practice? Tell us about it. Meditation. How
Well,
often do you
years
meditate per
ago,
day, etc.? So give us a story.
I started with, well, for me, I have prayer in my life. So in my quiet time, I have prayer time, and we do it at night as well as a family. Um, but I wanted to I was going for more increased connection and getting past the brain fog. So I wanted to retrain the brain. I like the the aspect of saying, hey, we can get in there and there's more potential of experience, lucidity that we can be experiencing. I love intelligence and picking at
Right,
the mental space. So I got into Holosync. So I
right.
signed up with Holosync and I got the first level, and it's just binaural, and
Okay.
it sends the waves through, and it helps you to get into those the deeper brain waves. So like the theta, the deeper brain waves. For
Right,
the first bit, I was falling asleep.
right.
And then when I got past the falling asleep part, then it was just a mind chatter, but you let it go, you let it pass through. It's just they're thought bubbles
Right,
that float
right.
all over the place. It's like, imagine them like where kids they blow the soap bubbles, right? And
Yeah,
how they just float all over the place and they'll land on someone and pop, or
right.
and that's how I think about thoughts, right? I think
Wow.
everyone can be exposed in that way to thoughts, even if they're not ours. Sometimes that can happen, where they
Yeah,
kind of float through and pass, and you're like, wow, where'd that come from?
yeah.
We don't have to entertain every thought. We don't
No,
have
we
to
don't.
ponder everything that crosses our mind.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
not meant for us, if we don't want to go there, we don't have to.
Right,
Um, I mean, there's some physical situations, like if it is like doing taxes.
right,
That's something that is going to come across the brain, and you're probably going to have to deal with that
right,
because
right,
we're all signed up in some form to be paying taxes. So,
right.
um, but yeah, beyond that,
Yeah,
there's there's just different ways to look at your thoughts, and
yeah,
then in meditation, again, just giving myself that set time.
yeah.
So if you go and do meditation at the same time each day, then your body gets used to going into that state at that same time. So even if you're not, taxes equal
You're
death.
dead. Pete,
It
Pete's full of
can
good
be.
news.
That's why I get a team. I get people to help me with those
There
sort
we
of
go. You
things. So
outsource that shit.
yeah,
Yeah. Give that thought to somebody
outsource. There's
else.
people that actually like that stuff. So
Yeah.
those are the people I want around me to help
There it is.
navigate. It's more elf for them.
That's it. Get it out of your
Uh,
head and into
yeah,
somebody else's.
exactly.
Yeah.
But just setting that in, and then when your body's used to experiencing something at that time, even if
Right.
you miss it, your
Yeah.
body will
Bring it
kind of
back.
trigger in, and and it's the same with sleep.
Yeah.
It's the same with waking up in the morning. It's the same for my drinking my water in the morning.
Yeah.
I get I get body triggers. I'm Pavlov, right? I'm
Right.
totally trained.
Right.
So, but
Right.
into the habit, into good habits, and those habits to have each day as you're living your life,
Yep.
especially if you want to live on the 200-year plan,
Yep.
then you you put in those good habits and they help to carry you through each day, and they're enhancing your experience.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's that compounding interest of those simple things, as you know, BG Brian Grasso would say. You know, it's that being patient and this has small, consistent, simple, somewhat boring a lot of the time things each day
Well,
that get you
it
there.
can be boring if
Right.
you keep look. Sorry, I'm just trying to move my tripod a little closer to the plug.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Plugging in. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
So, there
yeah.
we
So it is those small things each day, and the ones that fit with you. I mean, I'm looking at your meditation. and that you have a practice
Mhm.
around that. And obviously you're a big believer in it, therefore, and you do it yourself. Is there, because in PH360 you've also got that chronobiology in there where it's best to do certain
Yeah,
things during the day. For me, the meditation, I used to do it in the morning, and I haven't done meditation for a while, and I'm going to be kicking it off again next week. But the best
yeah,
time for me that it put it in my chronobiology was actually like mid-afternoon-ish, or a nap. It's a
same.
nap, or yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
which makes
Mine's,
sense because when your
but
mind's like
it's
on
all
fire potentially.
it was already when I was naturally doing that. So that was the
Ah,
thing with the
oh wow,
PH360, it was lining up with
stuff you
everything that I was
naturally
already
felt.
doing.
Isn't
Yeah.
that
And so
cool?
there was a few other things that it pointed out that I was like, well, yeah, that actually is part of my family history. So
Wow. Did it surprise you? I mean, do you think, whoa, that's
no, not
amazing?
really,
No?
but it was nice to have that confirmation.
Confirmation. And did it
Yeah.
bring awareness to other things that you weren't aware of around either food or exercise or, you know?
Again, more so on the confirmation side. So,
Right.
for example, pancreatic um, illnesses.
Right.
That's
Wow.
diabetes
Okay.
is in my family,
Right.
straight across the board. Not it hasn't missed a generation. So, um,
Wow. You too?
and no, 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 no. Well,
Right. Right.
I'm
Type
I
2?
I'm
Borderline?
sensitive to sugar, so I
Yeah.
find that I try to I try to keep my
Sugar
metabolic
intake.
adaptability
Your glycemic
so that yeah,
variability under control?
yeah. And so
Yeah.
I do fasting, I do
Yeah.
uh keto periods as
Nice.
well. I recently through doing research, because
Yeah.
again, biological science minor, I've been doing research since university,
Right.
even at a personal level. So,
Right.
but finding out that for women, there's lining up with our estrogen and
Yeah.
progesterone cycle.
Right.
Yes, flexibility, metabolic flexibility.
There
Well,
it
or
is. Thanks,
adaptability,
Pete.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but we're more prone to being able to process sugars when we're higher in estrogen as opposed to when we're higher in progesterone.
Right.
So cycling more ketogenic and
Yep.
fasting
Yep.
when I'm not handling this or lower in estrogen, we'll say.
So you're keeping a
So
reasonably low glycemic load happening
yeah,
on your
but
body. Yeah. You know.
it doesn't sit well on my palate anyhow. So I
Okay.
keep it pretty low.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Not right
Um,
now,
right.
but I could have it lower because
Yeah.
we did January, February. There was
Yeah.
we did some keto there, and
Yeah.
then in fasting, and
Yeah.
then came back in.
Right.
And yeah,
Yeah.
as Peter's saying, seasonal.
Seasonal as well. Yeah.
I eat at a seasonal basis. So right now we're bringing in more seasonal foods, asparagus.
Right.
Although my husband's more, he loves asparagus all year round. So,
Right.
but
Okay.
it's
Yeah. I mean,
cheaper
I love
right
asparagus.
now, so
Right.
it's better to buy right now.
Okay. Okay. Less stress.
Um,
Less stress on the
yeah,
system, on the
it's
financial
fresh.
system. Right.
This is the time.
Right.
So yeah, stock up on your asparagus now because this is the time that it's in season.
Well, it's like
And
season and local
yeah,
as well. I mean, if you look
and
at
local.
and PH360 have got in their app now where you can check wherever you are in the world, it'll look at what's the local
Okay.
foods
Yeah.
that are right for you in that location as well. They still suit your phenotype, right, that you're expressing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, an
yeah.
environment expression, right?
Right,
So
right,
there's
totally.
still the genotype where, yeah, sure, my family grew up in the tropics, but there's yeah, and again, I do freeze dried
Freeze
fruit.
dry. Awesome. All right.
Actually, Peter, do you do freeze dried
I
foods?
think we were talking to Pete when we were in New Zealand a couple of weeks ago. I think he does, or he has a freeze dryer or something.
Oh,
He was talking
really?
about it. Yeah, pretty sure. Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. But wow, Elise, we've hit the
Yeah.
top of the hour.
Okay. Awesome.
This has been wild. It's great. You're the first like tribal member that we decided to bring on versus one of our, experts. You're an expert in your own right, obviously, with the meditationary practice that you have. So it's nice to know that. It'd be good to get you back sometime in future and just talking a bit deeper about meditation. I know, because I'm a crusader, my mind, like your husband's, is going all the time. And in fact, Anne even reminds me sometimes, like, slow down, because I'm getting off on dopamine, which is what my phenotype as a crusader is most predisposed to chewing up. And hence sugar and carbs, I will tend to consume a fair bit through the brain, so yeah, I got to be careful getting off the gas now and then.
Yeah, that's the same for him. Yeah.
Right. So the meditation stuff is really good for me to do. I'm going to get back to. I've got the Muse, which reads it reads, and what it does is you can have different sounds, but I use the sea because I've got the sea behind me and I love the beach.
Yeah.
Where the waves get a lot louder if there's too much activity going on, and then when when I've got into the right state, with the signals coming from the brain, I then hear birds tweeting. And it's about how many, Anne's laughing because we first time she got it, she had like 3 birds. And she said, I got 3 birds. How many did you get? And I said, my best? Yeah, my best. About 180. And of course, being the competitive person that she is, she was just totally pissed.
Yeah.
Right, I want more birds. The more she thought about more birds, the less birds that came in. They were scared to be there in her cage, in her head, right? So, but she's anyway. Yeah. So anyway, we're all in different modes and wherever we're at, and we're all on our own journey. Look, this has been really, really good. Thank you for making the time, and thank you for being a supportive follower. And please,
of course,
give us input and feedback like you do. And continue doing that to help everybody else that continues to join and come to Heal.me and Middle Age Millennial, and for our execs. And I'm kicking off something with execs very, very soon on what we're calling. In fact, I'm going to call it out here, exec.reset, where Anne's working with ageless athletes, and I'm working with the execs in their sport of the corporate world, and getting them reconditioned over a 90-day period. So meditation is going to form part of that.
Very cool.
Anyway, thanks again. And for anybody who wants some more information, and I don't know if you want some more people to reach out to you regarding meditationary help, but they can just PM you, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions anyone has, including like freeze-dried and long-term storage, because I'm about to use some of that to whip up something for the family.
Wow,
cool. Feel free to send me a message and you can go from there. Again, awesome. I do lifestyle coaching, mindset coaching, spiritual guidance, so absolutely.
You've got that spiritual sort of aura about you, that sort of calming thing going on, I'm just sort of picking it up through the digital vibe. Of course, anybody else who wants to get some more information apart from this FB Live on Middle Age Millennial, jump into Heal.me and we'll welcome you in, and you'll be able to get some extra stuff there to help you out.
That's great information on those sites. So thank you for sharing all
you.
Your resources and your ponderings with everybody. It's
awesome.
Really helpful.
Thank you. Hopefully it's good value and keeps people inspired and motivated to live to 200 plus, Elisa. I'll have to up my game. So, all right.
I said it there, so then where I'm at now seems very, very basic and ground level.
Wow.
So I've got lots to reach for. Yeah.
Awesome. That's where it's got to start, right? So imagining your outcome of 200 plus, perhaps. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining. And remember to enjoy life right here, right now. What's the next word, Elisa? Today. Today. Get present. Let's get that Eckhart Tolle thing going on. Okay. We'll catch you on the next live.
I'm already thinking about dinner. I'm so sorry.
Before we go, before dinner, if you had an opportunity to interview anybody on the planet.
Okay.
Oh, actually, and off the planet. They have been here, but are not here any longer. Who would it have been? And what would you have asked
The
them?
interview?
Yeah.
I would really like to have connected with Wayne Dyer.
Wayne
Yeah,
Dyer.
that would have been a
Yeah.
fun conversation to sit in with. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
remember reading his books as a small kid. My mother used to have a lot of this stuff in her library. But Wayne Dyer, what would you have asked him?
And just to have conversation, the feedback.
Right. Yeah.
There's
Okay.
no pressing questions. It's just when you see like-minded people, or say, for example, with Peter Rouse, I'm so glad you finally had him on, because I always wanted to hear what was going on in his head and how it sounded and processed for him, right?
Yeah.
So what his
Yeah.
life looked like. So yeah,
Okay.
he's been a fun one to watch on on your stuff
Yes.
as
Now
well.
we've got him on.
But I don't have
He can
to
troll
I don't
himself
have to
now.
say, hey, I would like to speak with Peter, because you're already doing it. So
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, everybody was intrigued. Who is this Peter Rouse guy? Now everybody knows. Right.
Rouse in
Not
the
just
house. There
he's
you
not just
go.
a pretty face. Yeah. Peter Rouse in
Yeah.
the house. All right. Thanks again, Lise. And yeah, remember to
Right.
enjoy life right here, right now. And Pete's got it in his last comment. Elisa, what is it?
He said he's beyond help. No, today. Sorry.
Today. All right. Okay. Thanks, Elisa. We'll see you later.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye.
Bye.